Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2025 ski test. Today we're talking about this Nordica Santa Ana 97. Refreshed Santa Ana line for 2025. They've tweaked the widths just a little bit. They've changed the construction a little bit, and we get some slight changes to shape too. It's not a complete departure from the performance that they had before by any means, but I do think, especially on certain models, and especially this 97, I think they've changed the performance enough that it's kind of a different thing. It's still strong, it's still capable, it's still very, very powerful at speed, but I think they've opened up the possibilities with this ski a little bit, and the same is true on the men's side with the Enforcer 99. So before we kind of look at shape, which I think is a big thing for this ski, we'll kind of go through construction. A wood core in these skis, they've changed where they're sourcing the wood core from, but to me that's not a huge significant factor. We get a rubberized pulse core underfoot, so kind of just goes underneath your bindings and smooths out the ski a little bit. Gives it a little bit more energy too, I'd say. And then Santa Ana's use terrain-specific metal, so full width metal in the shovel, a single layer of metal I should add, and then it kind of tapers into the middle section of the ski, so it like a center strip. And then goes wide again underfoot. It's not full width, they kind of bring it in like 2 millimeters from the edge, and then into the center again through the kind of aft section here, and then again in the tail, full width metal. So rather than using a complete kind of unbroken sheet of metal, they basically just kind of cut out these sections right here and right here on either side of the ski, and that just brings down swing weight and also gives it a little bit bigger sweet spot. It doesn't change the flex pattern much. I just think it kind of, I don't know, it makes this portion of the ski a little bit more accessible in how you're kind of interacting with the snow. They're not the lightest ski in the world, but considering the stability and vibration damping and the fact that you get a decent amount of metal in here, I think Nordica does like a commendable job keeping the weight to a minimum. This is a 161 centimeter length, and it is, excuse me, 1,770 grams. So yeah, you know, it's not the lightest ski. You can definitely go out and find skis that are much lighter in this width, but I would say anything that's lighter, you're going to have a hard time finding a ski that can match the stability and strength of this ski. Kind of the same is true with flex pattern. It's not soft by any means. There are certainly stiffer skis out there. I'd say this is kind of like just a Goldilocks flex pattern for a ski like this. It has the supportive nature for skiing aggressively and fast, but there's enough flex here that you can manipulate turn shape. You can kind of like get the ski to do what you need it to do in demanding situations. Now, shape I mentioned is, I think, very interesting on these skis, and the big thing with the Santa Ana 97 is they've really kicked up the tail rocker back here. So if we compared this to Santa Ana 98 of years past, you would see more length as well as more splay in how the tail is shaped, and that's huge. In my opinion, that is huge for the performance. You feel it on the Enforcer side as well. It's really just allowed the skier to have an easier time releasing the tail edge, which can come in handy in so many different scenarios, whether you're just dumping speed on a groomer as you're like ripping, carving turns down and you need to slow down really quickly, or if you're skiing trees or moguls, or really generally most situations where you're in some softer snow, you're probably going to be breaking the tail free at least every once in a while. You know, I think one of the most fun things to do on skis is to carve through fresh snow, but even when you're doing that, you're gonna break free and skid from time to time. I mean, even if it's just when you stop, like it has to happen at some point. So they've really opened up that capability of this ski. Is it's so much easier to get the ski to go sideways and kind of skid and smear, which is awesome. Annie has been a staple in our ski test, I think from year one. I was trying to think of whether she's actually missed any ski test, and she maybe not. She's definitely one of our MVPs in our ski tests. I couldn't help but notice her feedback. We had a lot of different people on it at the ski test. We had great snow conditions for testing a ski like this. But yeah, it was striking to see Annie's feedback because she didn't score it anything below a 9 in any criteria, which is huge. Now, it's important to kind of understand Annie as a skier. She's incredible. She's an incredible skier. She has phenomenal technique. She has a wealth of experience and just a really, really strong skiing background. So for somebody like her, the weight, the flex pattern, all of those things, like, it's a benefit. It's helping her do what she is able to do on snow. I think if you take a less aggressive skier, if you take someone without such accomplished technique, they might not find the same thing. But just the fact that she found it quick and maneuverable and playful, forgiving, and stable and powerful with crazy edge grip, like all those things all at once, is just like a wild accomplishment for any ski. And I think it's worth pointing that out. So it's not for everybody. I don't think a ski like this is for an intermediate. I think you could make exceptions here and there, but I would say most intermediates, even if you're shopping in this width range, you might not need this much power, and you might be better off on something a little bit softer. But for those, accomplished, relatively aggressive, strong skiers, the Santa Ana 97 is incredible, and it's so darn versatile. I mean, it could be just a true classic one ski quiver, and you could do just about anything on it. So that's it. That's the Santa Ana 97 from Nordica. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we will see you out there on the slopes.